Forward. The SCP Foundation has discovered a substantial number of items which are simply too useless to merit further attention. This document lists those items which have prompted some curiosity. It may be used as a resource should knowledge of these items become useful or necessary in the future. Dr. Redacted, Head of Research, Site Redacted. Due to the increasing number of items discovered by the Foundation, this list is no longer open for entries. For ease of archival, a second volume and a third volume to the log are available. Item description: an unbreakable lamp. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: kept in Dr. Wright's office and site: redacted. Notes: this was one of the first items categorized as anomalous and denied full SCP classification, due to the lack of value in further research and little need for special containment. Item description: a penny which, when flipped, will always land heads up. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: shipped off to permanent storage. Notes: can't believe that none of the researchers kept this to win bets with. Item description: a number 2 pencil which will balance at a 32-degree angle for approximately 3 hours before ceasing anomalous behaviors. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: incinerated. Notes: I'm not even sure why this was an anomaly. Maybe it just had a very flat tip. Notice: destroying anomalous items without appropriate permission is a major violation of Foundation policy. See that this does not occur again. Site Director: redacted. Item description: a painting, possibly a landscape. Records are unclear. That gave a mild case of diaphragmatic spasms or hiccups to anyone who saw it. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: incinerated. Notes: this would obviously be a pain to work with, but shouldn't they have at least tried to see how it worked? Notice: destroying anomalous items without appropriate permission is a major violation of Foundation policy. See that this does not occur again. Site Director: redacted. Item description: normal garden slugs, whose trail has the exact same chemical composition and taste as commercial brand ranch dressing. They also appear to reproduce by binary fission each week. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: housed in a wildlife observation deck. Excess entities incinerated. Item description: a small rock that emits a bright white light from an unknown source, otherwise unremarkable. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: currently in the possession of Dr. Light. Notes: no radiation, no life signs, nothing. If nothing else, it's a reminder of the inexplicable nature of the universe. Item description: a 1964 Smith & Wesson .44 Magnum revolver. When any ammunition is fired from the third chamber, an unidentified male voice will shout, "Nice shot." Date of recovery: September 3rd, redacted. Location of recovery: Wichita, Kansas, USA. Current status: in storage at Site 19's Vintage Weapons Depository. Notes: perfectly serviceable and well maintained aside from the anomaly. Accuracy or even proficiency with the firearm is not required for the anomaly to function. Voice sounds whether or not the shot is, in fact, nice. Item description: a wire clothes hanger. Only long-sleeve, blue men's dress shirts with collar sizes between 38.1 centimeters and 40 centimeters can successfully be hung upon it. All other clothing articles simply drop off to the floor when hanger is employed. Date of recovery: September 15th, redacted. Location of recovery: Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Current status: in storage. Item description: a nuclear snow globe. When shaken, instead of falling snow, it shows a miniature-scale nuclear explosion. It emits no radiation, sound, or force, and the explosion pattern changes every shake. After effects such as radioactive snow and black rain have been observed. At random intervals, the snow globe will contain a small shed, car, or truck which reacts to the explosion. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: Sacramento, Russia. Current status: in storage. Item description: a squirrel which constantly moved much slower than normal, even when jumping or falling, similar to slow-motion video footage. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Family campgrounds: redacted. Current status: housed in a wildlife observation deck. Item description: a cheap plastic ping pong ball that would change from red to green twice daily. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. California, U.S. Current status: located under a locker in storage room 19553B. Maintenance team required to extract object. Item description: a white cowboy hat. Any person wearing is compelled to whoop and box dance uncontrollably. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Texas. Current status: contained in a standard anomalous objects locker and brought out during staff birthday parties. Item description: 6-sided dice that can occasionally land on a 7. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Gaming Society in Redacted, Maryland. Current status: being used for research by Dr. McCallum. Notes: research my ass. He's just using the damn thing to cheat on his sneak attack damage. Dr. Morgan. Item description: redacted, branded, and stylized cola glass. Any liquid drunk from glass reported to taste like redacted brand cola. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: Site 19. Current status: destroyed after being dropped by canteen worker. Redacted. Item description: a 500 redacted sidearm that discharges all loaded cartridges as if they were blanks. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: in storage. Item description: glass paperweight which constantly floats exactly 7 centimeters above any given surface. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Funeral home in Redacted. Current status: shattered in a bizarre a cappella accident. Dr. McCallum is currently being questioned. Item description: a drinking glass that visually appears to be able to hold a pint, 568 milliliters, of fluid, but overflows when more than 35 milliliters is poured into it. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 1998. Location of recovery: redacted, Illinois. Current status: in storage. Item description: a series of pornographic VHS tapes that, when rewound, would continually change actors, sets, and methods of coitus. All appear to relate to actual filmed movies, though the quality is low. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: Hackensack, New Jersey. Current status: was missing, presumed lost. Recently recovered from the possession of Dr. Redacted. Currently in storage. Item description: a 76 centimeter tall statue of a clown. In a room where it was placed, a giggling sound would be noted whenever lights were turned off. Date of recovery: May 16th, year 2000, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Germany. Current status: shot approximately 15 times with a 9mm sidearm by agent. Redacted. Agent reprimanded. No anomalous properties recorded in the remains. Item description: an adult male capybara, Hydrochorus hydrocharis, originally located several thousand miles away from the natural habitat for its species, with bright blue and green fur. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Wisconsin. Current status: identified as a lost exotic pet with redacted brand hair dye. Returned to owner. Class A amnestic administered. Recovery agent reprimanded. Item description: an HB pencil which cannot be used to write and only draws photorealistic images of Jimi Hendrix eating various foods. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 1979. Location of recovery: redacted, Liechtenstein. Current status: accidentally snapped during testing in 1993. Portions of pencil did not retain anomalous properties and were subsequently incinerated. Item description: a 24,000 carat diamond, cut in the size and shape of a common construction brick. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 1907, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, South Africa. Current status: in storage, pending identification of source. Item description: a white cotton polyester t-shirt bearing the words SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect on the front, and a crude but recognizable cartoon of SCP-173 on the back, with the caption, SCP-173, Don't Blink. Aside from the security breach, it represents the item has no anomalous properties. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, thrift store, New York City, New York. Current status: in storage. Item description: a wedding invitation, which every 6 hours becomes a different wedding invitation. Thus far, all invitations have been for weddings on dates between 5 and 15 years in the past, and have involved persons not found to exist. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, bookshop. Redacted, Wales. Current status: currently in storage, and investigation into locations, dates, and people involved is still underway. Item description: a 16-month day planner, September 2009 to December 2010, manufactured by the Redacted Company, which will duplicate anything written into it across all other units. This only works for date and time entries that have not yet come to pass. Date of recovery: redacted, year 2010. Location of recovery: redacted, office supplies, redacted, Florida. Current status: 17 units in Foundation possession. Unknown number remain in circulation, estimated at redacted. Research personnel are monitoring new entries in an effort to locate remaining copies. Item description: an IKEA brand wall clock which seems to disappear and reappear once every second. Date of recovery: redacted, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Scotland. Current status: disappeared at 11:24 hours GMT on redacted, year 19, redacted. Item never materialized, presumed irretrievable. Item description: a rubber and metal fly swatter which, when used to kill an invertebrate, causes the user to burst into tears. Date of recovery: redacted, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Free Clinic, redacted, Suriname. Current status: in storage. Item description: a spear that, when thrown, pierces the heart of the nearest humanoid and extends several spikes from its blade afterward. Agents are to note that the nearest humanoid is typically the person who threw it. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Ireland. Current status: in storage. Item description: a risk set that has a variable number of pieces, appearing and disappearing as needed on the board. Sounds of battle are produced by the dice when rolled on hard surfaces rather than the expected clattering. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Oregon. Current status: available in Area 43 break room for recreation. Item description: a piece of vine charcoal that causes, quote, "Someone help me, I'm trapped in the charcoal," unquote, to be written every several seconds whenever used for writing or drawing. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Scotland. Current status: in storage. Item description: a bottle of bootleg redacted perfume, which tracks cats in a 1 kilometer radius when used. Discovered after a gathering of over 4,000 cats caused a traffic jam in downtown redacted. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: stored in an airtight container, low-value item storage, site redacted. Item description: an upright piano. If a human touched any of the piano keys, the human became irresistibly compelled to play the piano and sing popular Broadway show tunes for a period of 3 hours or until the player was incapacitated. It is to be noted that the item did not provide musical talent, knowledge of tunes, knowledge of lyrics, or the ability to sing on key. Date of recovery: April 28th, year 2000, redacted. Location of recovery: Recreation Center at Foundation Site 33. Piano had been at that site for several years, but its unusual properties did not manifest until incident data expunged. Current status: disassembled by sledgehammer during containment breach. Resulting detritus incinerated. Residual ashes evidenced no unusual properties. Item description: a number 2 pencil that, when used, causes the writer to unknowingly make spelling errors. Spelling errors can be corrected using the pencil. Date of recovery: June, redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: Site 19 supply cabinet. Current status: accidentally destroyed. Materials demonstrated no unusual properties. Notes: are you sure the person who reported this wasn't just really bad at spelling? Item description: a white plastic halo which will shine and float above anybody who has not committed any of the 7 deadly sins. Will glow red when placed above anyone else. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: melted itself down after being placed above Dr. Redacted's head. Item description: $13 bills ranging from $1 to $20 that scream loudly when placed next to foreign currency. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted bank, redacted. Current status: shredded in paper shredder. Strips showed no anomalous properties. Item description: a snow globe containing an 11-second time loop of a snowman murdering a bystander with an axe. Date of recovery: December 25th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, ski resort, redacted, USA. Current status: on research assistant Goldshiner's desk for aesthetic purposes. Item description: a redacted brand bobblehead that, when bobbled, causes the user's head to bobble with it. Can create neck injuries if bobbled too hard. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 19, redacted. Location of recovery: Seattle, Washington. Current status: was on Dr. Roget's office desk. Is currently in Dr. Roget's office safe. Item description: an early 19th century cannon of Russian manufacture. Cannon will prime, load, and fire blanks, with no visible source of powder, if the finale of Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture is played within an audible range of the artillery piece. The timing of the shots is slightly off and inconsistent with the music. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: Napoleonic Wars exhibit, redacted museum, redacted. Current status: maintained as a lawn ornament in the staff garden at Site 12. Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture added to Site blacklist of restricted materials. Item description: a glass dinner plate, 11 inches across. When organic material is placed on the plate, it begins to secrete digestive enzymes, mainly proteases and cellulases, which produce foul-tasting waste products and an unpleasant appearance in food. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: Site 19, cafeteria. Discovered by junior researcher, redacted, who initially believed the kitchen staff were attempting to poison him. Current status: currently under investigation by Dr. Redacted. Item description: a white coffee mug that, at 3 a.m. local time, will replace all fruit juices in its interior with grapefruit juice. Date of recovery: redacted. Year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Minnesota. Current status: formerly in possession of research assistant Jacobs, currently in storage. Notes: effect has consistently failed to manifest after R.A. Jacobs filled the item with grapefruit juice 19 days after recovery. Item description: a pair of cordless headphones that constantly play songs by the Beatles despite the lack of a music or energy source. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted concert, California, United States. Current status: in storage. Item description: a ballpoint pen. Decimal points and numbers written with the pen will periodically move for the next 314 days. Date of recovery: November 3rd, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: accounting department at Site 11. Current status: stored in low-value item wing of storage Site 23. Item description: a computer file with the name ~dfff1c.tmp. The file has a negative file size of -2 bytes. Its presence on a storage medium increases the space available. Copies of the file retain this property, but editing the file changes its size to 0 bytes. Data recovery, May 21st, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, Dr. Redacted's home computer. Current status, stored in Dr. Redacted's computer with several backups on portable media. Item description, a 3-sided die. No matter how it is observed, subjects will report that it definitely has 3 sides, despite this being physically impossible. Data recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, a tabletop gaming convention in redacted. Current status, sliced in half, yielded 2 one-sided dice. Item description, an adjustable height stainless steel floor fan of unknown make and manufacture. The fan will only function when exposed to music written by an artist or artists that no persons within hearing range have knowledge of. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1997. Location of recovery, Jacksonville, Florida. Current status, in storage. Item description, a pound cake that emits the sound of a young girl laughing when being cut. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2012. Location of recovery, redacted is a bakery shop in Wyoming. Current status, kept in cold storage at Site 17. Item description, a slate sculpture of a human hand and a section of forearm, standing approximately 0.5 meters tall and weighing 50 kilograms. The object's orientation cannot be changed and acts as a perfect compass. The thumb always points due magnetic north. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2012. Location of recovery, raid on a Marshall Carter and Dark Limited warehouse in London, UK. Current status, staff gardens at Sector 25. Notes, accompanying recovered documentation indicates that MC&D was having difficulty finding a buyer for the object. Item description, a 235 kilogram redacted brand moped. When traveling at speeds in excess of 30 kilometers per hour, it displays inertial qualities consistent with an object of significantly higher mass, generally between 350 and 600 kilograms depending on speed. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1999. Location of recovery, redacted, Germany. Current status, in storage. Item description, a large whiteboard. Should a subject write a problem on the whiteboard, it will immediately begin to form a chart organizing the information pertinent to that problem. The object will then form connections between the information and attempt to come up with a solution. However, it will also write comments regarding the subject's intellect and physical appearance. These are almost always derogatory. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Texas. Current status, in storage. Item description, a redacted 1208 cell phone with exactly 2 bars of reception at all times, regardless of location, situation, or condition of the phone. Other functions do not differ from normal cell phones. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted village, Astrakhan district, found in possession of data redacted. Current status, in storage. Item description, a purple stress ball that, when squeezed, causes the person to become contemplative about their recent successes and failures in life. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, in the office drawer of a psychiatrist by the name of Dr. P. Redacted Lehman. Current status, torn to shreds by a loose pet corgi. Reconstruction is under consideration. Notes, is this thing even necessary? Why did we even take it in the first place? Why did Rachel dump me last night? Why? Agent R. Redacted. Item description, a basset hound capable of limited human-like speech, only vocalization is the word dude in various accents and tones of voice. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, California. Current status, held in Site 33 Kennels. Item description, a skee-ball arcade game dated to the late 1930s. Whenever 850 or more points are scored in a single frame, the ticket dispenser releases that number of live cockroaches. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1943. Location of recovery, redacted and Sons Games, Coney Island, New York. Current status, in containment. Item description, a key that can unlock the door to any empty, unmonitored room. However, A skeleton of a random small mammal always falls through the door as it is opened. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 2006. Location of recovery. Redacted, London. Current status. In containment. Item description. A treadmill that will suddenly increase the speed to the maximum 15 kilometers per hour whenever stopped before the pre-programmed session is over. Unplugging the machine gave the same result. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 2012. Location of recovery. Redacted Health Center, Seoul, Korea. Current status. On Redacted, year 2012, object was found to be broken, and it was revealed that many agents had used it for exercise since its containment. After the repair, object did not display anomalous properties any longer, and thus relocated to Foundation Health Center. Item description. A generic baseball cap that can only be worn properly. Any attempts to wear it sideways or backwards cause it to forcibly remove itself from the wearer's head. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery. Redacted, New York. Current status. In storage. Item description. A single copy of the book, The Principles of Knitting. When the chapter detailing various problems encountered while knitting is read, the user experiences these problems the next time they attempt to knit. Problems extend to types of knitting not otherwise possible in 3 dimensions, leading to widespread tangling. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 2012. Location of recovery. Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Current status. In storage. Item description. A shipment of 350 pre-packaged loaves of sliced potato bread consisting only of end slices. Viewing the bread causes disorientation and vestibular dysfunction. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 2010. Location of recovery. Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. Current status. Shredded during containment breach. Shreds only cause slight ringing in ears in 11% of test subjects. Remains in storage. Item description. A VHS recording of the 1992 vice presidential debates in which Vice President Dan Quayle appears to have been replaced with a brown quail, Coturnix ipsilophora, which displays normal avian behavior on the recording. Behavior of the other subjects on the tape is unaltered. Forensic video analysis has not revealed any evidence of editing. Date of recovery, November 17, 2012. Location of recovery, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Current status, in Dr. Q. Redacted's office. Item description. A yellow, rubber ducky bath toy. When a subject explains in detail a practical problem to the item as though it were a living anthropomorphic duck, they will feel that they have a better understanding of said problem and are often immediately able to come up with a solution. Date of recovery. Redacted, year 1909, redacted. Location of recovery. Redacted, California, USA. Current status. In display at Site 17's office block for use by all personnel. Item description. A swan goose, Anser cygnoides, which extinguishes fires around it in a radius of 32.444 meters. Effect expands to 101 meters on the night of the first quarter moon. Date of recovery. Redacted. Location of recovery. Altai, Mongolia. Current status. In animal containment. Item description. A hardcover book that, when read, makes everything a person touches feel like a certain designated texture depending on the page read. Date of recovery. Redacted. Location of recovery. Cartersville, Georgia. Current status. In the desk of Dr. Ray. Note. I like the fluffy kitten page. Dr. Ray. Item description. 10 glass sculptures of queen angelfish Holocanthus ciliaris that animate when placed in water. Sculptures require all the needs of a regular fish except oxygen. Date of recovery. Redacted. Location of recovery. Redacted, Ireland. Current status. Kept in the aquarium in the second floor break room at Site 17. Item description. A china statuette of British cartoon characters Wallace and Gromit that, upon observation, causes the observer to have a mild craving for cheese. Date of recovery. Redacted. Location of recovery. Recovered with SCP redacted in a raid on a Marshall Carter and Dark auction. Current status. In storage. Item description. A set of chess pieces carved from white and pink marble. When used to play a game, rather than normal handling, the pieces transform into humanoid figures in the shapes of individuals important to the players. The King's Knight is always in the shape of the player, regardless of gender. Date of recovery, April 26th, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery, found abandoned on a public chessboard in Central Park, New York City, New York, USA. Current status, in storage. Item description, 32 printed copies of John Cage's 433. When performed by any number of musicians, the sound of a euphonium practicing various atonal music pieces can be heard softly emanating from each copy. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, band room of redacted high school located in Oahu, Hawaii. Current status, in storage. Item description, a replica of a human skull made out of gelatin. Item has not been shown to decay as per standard gelatin. Item plays music every October 31st. All music has been confirmed to be identical to that played by the band Redacted at their annual concert at the Redacted Zoo. Date of recovery, redacted, year redacted 11. Location of recovery, redacted, Zoo Amphitheater. Current status, on the desk of Dr. Redacted. Notes, I would feel a little bad about this, but the concert is free anyway. Dr. Redacted. Item description, a dictionary that alters any text describing it to resemble the language's phonetic form, though not in any recognized format. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Current status, in a standard containment locker at Site 59. Item description, a bronze statue of a mermaid causes kleptomaniacal compulsions in mammalian subjects continually exposed to it. Date of recovery, June 30th, year 1967. Location of recovery, redacted. Current status, replaced with a replica, original in storage. Item description, the word redacted, a 9-letter imaginary word which is defined as the opposite of a sieve. The definition is known as soon as the word is read or heard. Only one written instance of the word exists at any given time. The previous instance is erased when the new instance is written. Although the word transfers at roughly 1,808 kilometers a second, the word reportedly feels natural and fluid to pronounce, and so may potentially be easy for unknown independent parties to create and write down. It is otherwise mundane. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, word generation and verification subroutines, Site 18 databanks. Current status, written on a piece of paper stored at Site 19. In the event that an unknown independent party writes the word, one of several researchers will be on call to write the word down again. Item description, a tiara constructed from living specimens of mushroom and other non-invasive fungus. Placing the tiara on a human subject's head causes the subject to become gyroscopically stabilized from the waist up. No matter the effort, the subject will become unable to move their body from the waist up out of a perfectly vertical position. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1919. Location of recovery, Copenhagen, Denmark. Current status, in storage. Item description, a traditional Brazilian berimbau of typical construction and materials. When held by a human subject and the stick is raised to strike the string, the subject immediately displays an instinctive knowledge of how to play basic traditional rhythms. Further exposure does not seem to result in further knowledge gain, but the resultant basic knowledge remains with the subject after exposure. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, Salto, Brazil. Current status, in storage. Note, until it is determined conclusively that the item has no cognitohazardous capabilities, handling and testing is restricted to D-class subjects. Item description, a 129-character string, entering it on the password field of an online service will allow login no matter what the original password was. Only known exception is the word password. Date of recovery, redacted, year 21, redacted. Location of recovery, Lagos, Nigeria. Current status, archived. Research on encryption and network structures resistant to effect underway. Item description, a blue stress ball, when squeezed, holder becomes infuriated and when thrown, will bounce back and hit the thrower's head. Date of recovery, redacted, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted psychiatrics, redacted. Current status, in storage. Item description: a standard redacted brand deck of cards that, when used to play any card game, appear backwards, showing all of the players the card's face while only showing the card's holder the back of said card. Date of recovery: redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted, Nevada, United States. Current status: in storage at site redacted Recreation Lounge. Item description: a credit card of an unknown black material. Purchases made with the card via magnetic stripe readers are retroactively debited from Banco de Mexico's account number redacted point redacted in October of 1993. Date of recovery: redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: secret chamber in the Great Pyramid of Giza, Cairo, Egypt. Current status: in storage. Item description: a red 1994 Toyota Camry whose radio could only play Men Without Hats Safety Dance, regardless of station, whether a cassette tape had been inserted, even after the radio itself had been replaced 3 times. Date of recovery: redacted, year 2000, redacted. Location of recovery: Atlanta, Georgia. Current status: crushed and melted down during an unusual containment breach. Residual slag showed no anomalous properties. Item description: a high-tech typewriter that produces a cognitohazardous effect on every person trying to formulate a description for said object. Despite being a typewriter, it is always described as a typewriter, with various properties, containment places, and such replaced with analogous typewriter-related properties. However, the verb to shoot and its cognates are not affected. Attempts to photograph the object are hindered by mental influence, and any attempts to draw or paint the object result in a drawing of a typewriter. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: an abandoned printing device research base that belonged to a defunct group of interest called redacted. Current status: in storage and site redacted printing devices room. An effort to produce copies of the typewriter is underway. Notes: this typewriter is great, easy to shoot, very accurate, good shooting distance, lightweight, supports different key sets, and has a 60 cartridge tray. The typing mechanism is detachable, .45 ACP, and 5.56 versions are available. Most likely, the anomalous effect was developed in order to hinder intelligence efforts. Agent Cora. Item description: a wooden toy rifle designed to shoot rubber bands using a gear. Rubber bands accelerate to 1/540th the speed of light upon leaving the barrel of the rifle. Date of recovery: October 15, 2010. Location of recovery: Mount Vernon, Virginia. Current status: in anomalous weapons containment. Item description: a computer that cannot connect to any network when networking is enabled, but can attain a connection to the internet of exactly 161.24 kilobytes per second anywhere, regardless of the speed of light and other physical limitations. Date of recovery: redacted, year 2011. Location of recovery: redacted, Portugal. Current status: currently used to maintain communications with redacted. Item description: formerly a glass statue of a non-Euclidean structure, currently glass fragments of a statue originally composing a non-Euclidean structure. Date of recovery: redacted, year 2013. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: in storage. Notes: it was broken when I found it. Agent Green. Item description: a drawing of a dog that, when viewed by an illiterate individual, teaches them how to read and write Latvian. Date of recovery: redacted. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: in Level 1 document storage at site redacted. Item description: a Christmas tree that is impossible to disassemble. Date of recovery: December 25th, 2013. Location of recovery: original location unknown. Secondary location is near the entrance tunnel to Site 14. Current status: in Site 14 break room as a decoration for Christmas. Item description: one coaster. When placed on any horizontal surface, it leaves a circular water stain 6.3 centimeters in diameter. Stains left by this object have proven to be extremely difficult to remove. Date of recovery: September 18, 1995. Location of recovery: redacted brewery, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Current status: accidentally destroyed under unknown circumstances. Item description: A Mark 19 Israel Military Industries Desert Eagle on 50 Action Express with Picatinny rail. When held, it displays an ammo counter in the bottom right corner of the wielder's peripheral vision, and when fired, displays a point value based on the target hit in base 5 numeration. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted, Florida, USA. Current status: stored in Site 19, low value storage unit. Notes: it sounds cool, but the ammo counter is hard to focus on, which distracts you when you're trying to fire it, and it's nearly useless since you can barely make out the numbers. The scoring system has to be worked out on paper, and there's no easy way of recording the numbers when you have to decode your score every time you shoot. Keep this thing far away from usable weapons. Agent Harrelson. Item description: a pack of redacted brand chewing gum containing 6 pieces of chewed gum. When chewed, they will revert to unchewed form. Rechewed pieces do not possess this property. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted, Canada. Current status: in storage in site redacted. Notes: how did we figure out it did that? Doctor redacted. Item description: a tambourine that, when shaken, produces the sounds of a guitar. Staff claim to greatly enjoy it. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted, England. Current status: held in Site 19, Great Britain. Item description: a pair of baby blue boxing gloves. Boxing gloves are used to punch an infant in the jaw. The newborn will grow all of its adult teeth within the following 24 hours. Date of recovery: August 10th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: Glasgow, Scotland. Current status: stored in Site 17, containment locker. Item description: a Roman mosaic assembled in the 4th century CE, depicting a creature resembling a stegosaurus. Outside its anachronism, it is not otherwise anomalous. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery: Villa Ramona del Casale, Sicily, Italy. Current status: in display at Site 77's Historical Anomalies wing. Item description: a wooden pan flute. When played, an unidentified male voice will tell music-related puns in the player's first language. Date of recovery redacted, year 1991. Location of recovery redacted, music shop, Salonika, Greece. Current status: in storage. Item description: a red, redacted brand automobile. The automobile is reported to leave a trail of flames in areas it passes. It is also able to speed up to redacted kilometers per hour. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted, family's garage. Current status: last seen driven by Dr. Gerald, presumed destroyed. Item description: a black top hat. When worn, any sounds made by the person wearing it is replaced by an unidentified male voice saying an onomatopoeic word based on the sound. For instance, the sound of sneezing will be replaced by the word sneeze. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted. Current status: in storage. Item description: a tin can labeled worms in white paint. Opening the lid reveals another lid directly underneath. Analysis has resulted in the conclusion that there may be a theoretically infinite sequence of lids. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery redacted, West Virginia. Current status: an anomalous item containment locker. Item description: a carton of redacted brand cigarettes. Upon smoking, subjects can only communicate through operatic vocals, with an effect lasting from 8 to 15 minutes. Date of recovery redacted, year 2004. Location of recovery: Phoenix, Arizona. Current status: a number were consumed a month after recovery by the Site 22 staff. Remainder in storage. Notes: these were a lot of fun. Someone should put them in the break room vending machines if the Foundation comes across a reliable source. Agent redacted. Item description: a red 2011 redacted 159. While sitting in the driver's seat, the driver spontaneously forgets how to use a stick shift transmission. They regain this knowledge upon stepping out of the car. It should also be noted that this car has a stick shift transmission. Date of recovery redacted, year 20 redacted. Location of recovery redacted, Poland. Current status: in storage, awaiting repairs due to a burnt-out clutch. Item description: a black and white picture of a flock of sheep that causes any human within a 5-meter radius to feel as if they are being watched. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted. Current status, in storage. Item description, a redacted 1600 brand computer. When activated, all peripherals are turned into aged by the block cheese. Date of recovery, November, redacted, 2012. Location of recovery, Algonquin College, Canada. Current status, stored inside redacted break room. Notice, I shouldn't have to say this, but since it keeps happening, staff are advised not to connect peripherals to the computer unless they intend to turn said peripherals into cheese. Supervisor White. Item description, a finger painting of a 7 cm square inside of a 3 cm circle. Date of recovery, December 2nd, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, Christian Adler Elementary School. Current status, undergoing testing. Note, I know the ruler doesn't lie, but my brain just doesn't want to believe it. Guess we're doing something right. Agent Morris. Item description, a severed saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus head, which doesn't experience decomposition or corrosion. When touched or handled physically, the head animates and bites its handler, then returns to its inactive state. Object also regenerates almost instantaneously when damaged. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2014. Location of recovery, Las Vegas, Nevada. Current status, in frozen storage. Item description, a blue redacted candy, which, when set on a flat surface, begins to spin, accelerating its speed until it reaches a rate of approximately 65 revolutions per second, at which point it instantly freezes in place until picked up and set back down. Date of recovery, February 24th, 2014. Location of recovery, Cedar Springs, Colorado, USA. Current status, consumed by Dr. Redacted. Item description, a recently opened 38 centiliter glass bottle of redacted brand ketchup. Contents of bottle deemed impossible to extract despite vigorous smacking and shaking. Date of recovery, April 15th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, San Juan, Mexico. Current status, shattered during an unauthorized extraction attempt inside 22 cafeteria. Despite severe fragmentation, contents remained irretrievable from bottle. Broken shards and remains moved to standard storage locker at Site 59. Item description, a glass mirror that reflects images across its surface approximately 3.86 seconds more slowly than conventional mirrors, resulting in significant lag in the observed reflection. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Ukraine. Current status, undergoing testing at Site 73. Studies indicate that there is no observable change in the rate at which photons are reflected by the mirror. Item description, a toy rocket made out of an unknown substance which can exceed speeds needed to escape the Earth's gravity. It caught the interest of the Foundation and was tested. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted/redacted border. Current status, currently located in the thermosphere in Earth's orbit. Item description, bootleg VHS copy of Swedish movie Redacted of Redacted, year 19, redacted. All characters change gender and ethnicity randomly on each viewing. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Guam. Current status, formerly Site 19 break room, currently in the storage. Notes, bad acting, boring plot. Item description, a small, redacted brand FM radio, estimated to be redacted years old. When powered and set to any frequency, the radio will play a random song popular among teenagers during the activator's pubescent years. This song will always involve romantic relations and is described as remarkably opposite to the activator's current relationship status in 95% of cases. When activated by somebody not in a romantic relationship, the radio will play an inexpertly recorded cover of Harry Nilsson's single One, sung dramatically off-key by an unidentified pubescent male, accompanied by a series of 8-tonal electric piano notes. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1986. Location of recovery, redacted high school, redacted, Illinois. Current status, lost following testing by researcher, redacted. Item description, a bag of redacted brand marshmallows. When a marshmallow is consumed by an individual, their head becomes engulfed in blue flames. Subjects always report a lack of noticeable change in spite of heat readings exceeding 100 degrees Celsius. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2014. Location of recovery, redacted, Scotland. Current status, remaining samples were placed in storage. Item description: a pair of ravens, Corvus corax, who will sing the folk song known as Twa Corbis on some but not all occasions when someone dies within an approximately 1 kilometer radius. Date of recovery, June 27, 1989. Location of recovery, redacted, British Isles. Current status, held in a standard aviary. Item description: one pair of redacted brand headphones that can only be described as the opposite of what they are. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Canada. Current status, in storage at site, redacted. Notes: don't think into it too much. Dr. Redacted. Item description: a yellow, brandless notebook. Every page contains multiple hand-drawn rainbows. The words Kyle, age 6 are visible on the item's cover. All written text regarding said notebook will alter its color in order to follow the pattern of the colors of the rainbows contained in the notebook. The drawings do not follow the pattern of real rainbows. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, Sussex, UK. Current status, in storage at Site 98. Item description: an iron ball bearing, radius 2 centimeters, which completely lacks ferromagnetic properties even in the presence of strong magnetic fields, tested up to 8 Tesla. It is the only known instance of an anapole, that is, a magnet with no poles, as opposed to hypothetical monopoles, discovered while searching for low background steel for use in radiation-sensitive experiments. It was noted for anomalously low levels of trace radioactive elements. Subsequent analysis revealed that it is composed entirely of pure iron. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2000, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, factory in Alaska, US. Current status, held in Site 11, storage in radiation shielding unit to preserve purity. Item description: a standard Monopoly board game that, when played, will invariably incite an argument between the players that will ultimately lead to the cessation or annulment of their marriage, partnership, friendship, or whatever other form their relationship took. Date of recovery, July 3, 2001. Location of recovery, redacted, family yard sale, Illinois, US. Current status, Site 19 storage. Item description: 7 booster packs of the popular Magic the Gathering trading card game. Opening any of the packs will lead to an unidentified male voice saying, "Ha, nerd." The voice appears to be located a distance away from the opener of the pack. Date of recovery, the 13th of redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted and redacted comics. Current status, only 5 boosters remain, currently stored in the Site 23 storage room. Item description: a 2 meter by 1 meter glass oblong that acts as a portable window to a parallel universe. The reverse side is an unidentified opaque material which has resisted all efforts to damage it thus far. Currently, the point of divergence between universes is unknown, but does not appear to have altered any aspect of Earth. Glass is functionally a mirror. Date of recovery, 3rd of redacted, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, England. Current status, formerly marked and used in Site redacted changing rooms, currently removed to storage following reinstitution of protocol anti-AN 105/76, quote, containment first, unquote, on September 6, 2009. Item description: a 17-gram lump of plasticine which, when viewed by more than one person, is unanimously agreed to be too much plasticine. Mechanism for perpetuation of this worldview is currently unknown. No anomalous effects if viewed by only one person. Date of recovery, the 12th of redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, England. Current status, kept in a small plastic bag in the break room of Site redacted. Item description: a pillow that audibly complains about itself. Complaints thus far have been softness, for which the pillow stated it was too hard and too soft at different times. Material of the pillow, material inside the pillow, and how much it talks about itself. While it has been noted that the pillow is sentient and is able to respond to personnel, the only thing it has discussed is itself. Date of recovery, 14th of redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, softco. Current status, Site 35 storage room. Item description: a chicken nugget that does not age or go stale. When a piece of the object has been bitten off, the nugget will regenerate the area that has been bitten. Cutting pieces off of the object do not regenerate. It seems as though the main part of the nugget will regenerate with pieces cut off to show no anomalous properties. Date of recovery, December 31st, 2013. Location of recovery, redacted, Connecticut. Current status, stored in freezer at Site 48. Notes: maybe we could use this as infinite ration during shortage of food. Dr. Smith. Item description: a white oak tree, Quercus alba, that, when viewed by a subject, is invariably described as being ironic. Affected subjects are incapable or unwilling to explain further. Date of recovery, May 21st, 2011. Location of recovery, redacted, Canada. Current status, in storage. Item description: a 1 meter tall, solid gold flamingo statue that animates whenever a blue moon occurs. When animated, it attempts to fly through the ceiling only to crash into it. It will keep doing so until either restrained or the morning after the blue moon ends. Date of recovery, May 16th, year redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Zoo, U.S. Current status, in storage. Item description: a toilet paper roll with the words, quote, Jimmy's telescope and anti-scope, unquote, written on it with a red marker and various star stickers dotted around it. When viewed through one side, the roll will act as a telescope. However, when viewed from the other side, it acts as a microscope. Date of recovery, June 12th, year redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Woods, U.S. Current status, in storage. Notes: I feel bad for the kid who lost this. Dr. Richards. Item description: redacted sheets of paper that, when flipped in the same direction twice, show a third side. Flipping sheet again will show the first side. Flipping backwards from the first side will show the third one. Date of recovery, March 20th, year redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, high school in redacted. Current status, in storage. Item description: a medium white men's shirt. All attempts to capture the item on video or photograph have failed, as photographs and videos develop as if the shirt were not present. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted. Current status, in storage. Item description: an abstract bronze sculpture measuring 2.11189 meters in height, artist unknown. Exposure results in drastic overestimation of one's ability to make precise measurements for 9.800419 hours afterwards. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Museum of Modern Art, between 5th and 6th Avenue, New York, USA. Current status, in storage. Item description: a pair of cheese graters, any cheese grated with one comes out of the other grater if the two are within around 6 meters of each other. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, 21 Redacted Road, Sequim, Washington. Current status, under testing. Item description: a standard paper straw wrapper which is animate and has behavior patterns consistent with a boa constrictor. This includes slow, slithering movement and attempts to constrict prey. Due to the material it is made of, it exerts very little force and cannot restrict anything worthy of notice. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, Moe's Roadside Grill, redacted. Current status, crumpled up, presumably by accident, believed to be dead. Item description: a font file named happyfaces.ttf. Any text displayed in it appears as excerpts from Klingon Steed, a 12-novel series of unpublished/romances. Author and font creator are unacquainted and display no anomalies. Downloadable file replaced with corrupt decoy. Date of recovery, June 3rd, 2009. Location of recovery, freecrazyfonts.com. Site defunct as of December 16th, 2012. Current status: installed on workstation of senior researcher Mary Esposito, Site 12. Item description: an oil painting depicting a sunset over snow-capped mountains. Any human who views the painting is unable to move, excluding blinking and other unconscious movements, until they are deemed to have sufficiently appreciated the painting's composition or are forcibly removed by an external force. Date of recovery: December 6th, year 2000, redacted. Location of recovery: redacted art gallery in redacted Ukraine, having spontaneously appeared in the gallery the day before. Current status: in permanent storage following an incident in which Dr. Gently was transfixed for 3 hours before being removed by security staff. Notes: maybe it'd be easier to appreciate that thing if the artist wasn't terrible at conveying depth. Dr. Gently. Item description: a plush toy of a golden retriever dog looking cheaply made in appearance. Subjects describe the plush toy's body to feel unusually realistic. Touching the plush toy's fur is described to feel like dog's fur, touching the mouth is described to feel damp and sticky, and so on. Date of recovery: September 21st, 1992. Location of recovery: redacted dollar store, redacted Louisiana. Current status: recreational toy inside 15 lounge. Item description: a 13-piece set of basic 12-inch rulers that, when damaged, emit a loud screeching sound, then begin to move away from the source of damage. Date of recovery: January, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: an abandoned stables warehouse in Coppell, Texas, formerly home to a redacted sex cult and redacted. Current status: under testing. Item description: it might be a coffee cup that could possibly cause all writing about it to be uncertain. Date of recovery: 1999-ish. Location of recovery: somewhere in Florida. Current status: in storage, possibly. Item description: a nickel-plated pocket watch induces a mild trance state in observers when not being swung back and forth like a pendulum. Date of recovery: June, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery: a flea market in Cairo. Current status: anomalous properties suppressed, safe to observe. Notes: did somebody actually build a little machine to keep this thing swinging? I mean, nice job, I guess, but seriously, we can just keep it in a box. Dr. Micah. Item description: a copper hoop, 152mm radius, with tubular rim, 6.4mm radius. A groove, 1.6mm wide, runs along the inner surface. 3 25.4mm bar magnets are attached to rails within the groove. These magnets are always equidistant, and if given any momentum, will rotate around the hoop at a constant velocity without slowing. Any attempt to extract mechanical energy from this system causes it to abruptly stop. All copies have failed to duplicate the perpetual motion of the original device. Date of recovery: August 8th, 1968. Location of recovery: Inventors Convention, Las Vegas, Nevada. Current status: Engineering Research Lab, Site 19. Item description: a stack of formerly 128, then 127, then 124 A4 printing papers printed with a variety of content, exact number of sheets undetermined. Every time the stack is counted, formerly a single, then 1 to 3, currently a small number of sheets, exact number undetermined and suspected to be random, will disappear. Date of recovery: May 11th, 2010. Location of recovery: redacted building, Shanghai, China. Original stack believed to have consisted of over 400 papers. Current status: in storage. Item description: a 10 by 10 centimeter piece of white cardstock bearing 2 equally sized black dots. The dots remain adjacent to one another along the direction of the Earth's equator, no matter which way the card is turned. Anomaly fails to manifest when paper is not held approximately parallel to the ground. Date of recovery: December 11th, year redacted. Location of recovery: the redacted PD Forensics Labs, retrieved from a deceased John Doe. Current status: laminated for preservation purposes, kept in storage. Item description: a plastic milk jug which does not experience any gravitational forces. Milk was found to harbor no anomalous properties. Date of recovery: January 12, 2015. Location of recovery: redacted recycling center, redacted Argentina. Current status: stolen. Item description: A rock possessing telepathic capabilities with a range of a few meters, mostly mulls over how important it is. Communication appears to be one way only. Date of recovery, September 1st, year redacted. Location of recovery, discovered during investigation of the site of an anomalous event by MTF Psi-8, the Silencers, determined to be unattached to identifiable larger anomaly. Current status, in storage. Notes. Took several hours to locate which rock was anomalous. My knees hurt. Agent redacted. Item description. A pig whose appearance is static and shifted downwards by around 0.25 meters. The effect is purely visual. The image is as it was when the effect started. The effect was reported to have taken hold instantly. Date of recovery redacted. Location of recovery, pig farm in redacted. Current status, kept as a pet on site redacted by junior researcher Barry. Item description. A mummified human foot in a clay jar, thought to date back to the 18th dynasty of Egypt. Anomalous in that genetic testing matches the foot to one Daniel Ike Howe, a resident of modern-day California, who presently possesses both his feet. Ike Howe is under surveillance. Date of recovery, June 13th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, found in the remains of a shrine to the Egyptian goddess Maat. Current status, in storage. Notes. Ike Howe's left foot was severed in an industrial accident on February 21st, year 20, redacted. Foot was seized by Foundation personnel and found to share numerous characteristics with the mummified foot, currently held in cold storage. Item description. A soft-boiled egg, approximately 0.7 meters in height. Shell is tan in color and speckled with green. DNA testing inconclusive. Date of recovery, December 11th, year redacted. Location of recovery, retrieved from an illegally operated restaurant in South America specializing in exotic foods. Other dishes on the menu included snow leopard, chimpanzee, woolly mammoth, human, and SCP redacted. Reports indicate that 2 such eggs had already been served, and that the last was being reserved for a wealthy Chinese stockbroker. The egg was predicted to sell for redacted dollars. Current status, undergoing testing. Item description. A printed image of a Jack Russell Terrier that invariably fools observers into believing they are perceiving a living dog of the same breed. The effect can be avoided by observing the image indirectly, such as through a mirror or a camera. Date of recovery, September 4th, year redacted. Location of recovery, a pet show in New Orleans. Current status, formerly held in site redacted kennels, currently stored in site redacted cognitohazard file containment. Item description. A letter opener resembling a 15 centimeter long miniature claymore. Material is common low-grade stainless steel. The handle is lacquered oak. Material samples taken exhibit no unusual properties. The content of any envelope opened with it is transformed into a poem of appropriate content. Mission reports have been transformed into anything ranging in style from Viking sagas to material akin to poems by the war poets of World War I, while clerical content usually turns into Dadaist or absurdist poetry, especially anything produced by the accounting department of Redacted. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted. Current status, kept in storage at site, redacted. Access is usually granted upon written request to Dr. Redacted and for Class A through C personnel. Item description. A twin-sized mattress. Subjects who fall asleep on the mattress will invariably have a dream in which they are forced to consume a live walrus using only a fork and kitchen knife. Whether or not the subject succeeds in the dream appears to be inconsequential. Date of recovery, June 14th, 1983. Location of recovery, a furniture store in Redacted, England. Current status, in storage. Item description. A box of 24 Redacted brand pencils featuring 3 pencils in colors that don't exist in nature, listed in the box and on each respective pencil as Moider, Emelet, and Cancri. These pencils work as expected. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, recovered from a Manna Charitable Foundation establishment located in Redacted, Canada. Current status, in storage. Notes. Probably medic or something. Gives me a migraine to look at them. Pretty though. Researcher, redacted. Item description. A 1-to-1 replica of a .338 caliber Accuracy International AWM sniper rifle, complete with bipod, telescopic sight, magazine, and internal mechanisms constructed out of various unusually durable edible substances, a significant portion of which is chocolate cake. Despite its composition, item is fully functional as a firearm, capable of chambering and firing .338 Lapua Magnum cartridges. Date of recovery, July 16, 2000. Location of recovery, Sandford, Somerset, England. Current status, in storage. Item description: a running car made entirely out of paper scraps. No motor has been found. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Texas. Current status, kept in a garage with various other non-dangerous cars and such, in sight, redacted. Item description: the exact phrase, quote, redacted, unquote. When used as a username on any website, accounts by this name cannot be banned or deleted, and content uploaded or posted by them cannot be removed, due to computer errors that spontaneously occur during attempts. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2007. Location of recovery, not available. First instance identified on social media website Reddit. Current status, the operators of the redacted known accounts by this username have been located and amnesticized to prevent usage of these accounts. The username has been registered by the Foundation on as many other sites as possible. Item description: a standard coin counting jar with no identifiers of its manufacturers. The jar runs on one AAA battery and works as expected, correctly counting the amount of coins placed within it. However, all coins placed inside will become pennies of equal amount. Example, a dime placed inside will become 10 pennies. Outwardly, the jar appears full of pennies. If the lid is removed, the coins can be removed as normal, though they still appear as pennies within the jar. Date of recovery, November 11th, 2011. Location of recovery, a Walgreens store at Redacted, Florida. Current status, on the desk of Dr. Redacted. Item description: a stack of 364 pieces of personalized stationery. Quote, messages for Bertrand Bartleby, unquote, is inscribed at the top of each. When folded in half, stationery will describe itself with a name, physical description, and a chronological record of actions taken by anyone in proximity to the folded paper using terminology and slang common to turn-of-the-century London. Date of recovery, February 15, 2015. Location of recovery, 412 Missionary Street, London, England. Current status, missing. Notes: on June 20th, 2015, all but one piece of the acquired stationery were reported missing from storage. The remaining piece had been folded in half and left in the empty locker. Contents of remaining folded paper. 15 minutes after third bell, evening. Bertrand Bartleby enters, pale, stout, and doughy as a Yorkshire dumpling. Dress of fine quality. Posture of a well-bred and educated gentleman. 16 minutes after third bell, evening. Bertrand Bartleby recovers all but one of me. He expresses polite amusement at my recovery. I am folded in half. 17 minutes after third bell, evening. Bertrand Bartleby requests that I begin recording retroactively from the moment he arrived. Additions are made. 18 minutes after third bell, evening. Bertrand Bartleby exits. 22 minutes after seventh bell, morning. Quartermaster Victor Lewis enters, tall, athletic, with a distinct mix of European French and African Negro, dress and posture of unsightly quality. 23 minutes after seventh bell, morning. Victor Lewis recognizes that the rest of me is missing. He emits vocalized expressions of vulgarity, suggesting surprise and or anger typical of lesser upbringing. He approaches with intent to open me. Item description: a redacted brand mountain bike that, while mounted, experiences a headwind of random speeds from redacted meters per second to redacted meters per second, even in enclosed buildings. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2014. Location of recovery, redacted, Denmark. Current status, research ongoing for possible wind power generation. Item description: a redacted brand digital camera. When a photograph is taken, the resulting photograph reveals scene of photo approximately 4.5 seconds before the exposure took place. Videos taken that are under 4.5 seconds in length are also affected. Date of recovery, April 10th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, the redacted photography, at Redacted, Germany. Current status in Dr. B. Redacted's office. Item description: a controller for the Redacted console that causes anyone holding it to write/type in 1337, a language that replaces most alphabet letters with alternative ASCII numbers and symbols. Date of recovery, April 15th, year 20, Redacted. Location of recovery, Redacted, Illinois, USA. Current status in Dr. Alby's personal locker. Item description: a scorpion that imitates various human mannerisms and speaks fluent English in a British accent. Date of recovery, January 28th, 2010. Location of recovery, Redacted, Texas, USA. Current status: contained in standard terrarium, heat lamp included, at site Redacted. Notes: he appears to like tea, despite normal scorpions being strictly carnivorous. Dr. Henry. Item description: a pennaceous feather resembling a tail feather from an unknown species of family Accipitridae, hawks, eagles, and vultures. It is brown with white banding, appears to have naturally fallen from its host, and measures 4 meters long by 1 meter wide. Date of recovery, September 14th, 2011. Location of recovery: steppe land approximately 500 kilometers west of Astana, Kazakhstan. Current status: in storage. Notes: so we have a giant egg and a giant feather in storage. Where's the giant bird? And why doesn't anybody know about it? Dr. Argent. Item description: an unbranded data cable for Redacted devices. When connected to a compatible device, the device will charge itself even though the data cable is not attached to a visible power supply. Date of recovery, Redacted, year 20, Redacted. Location of recovery, sent as promotional material through Redacted to site Redacted. Return address of mail is currently under surveillance by Foundation operatives. Current status: kept in storage and site Redacted for personnel to use. Item description: 12 quill pens that, when placed inside a suitable saltwater environment, will animate and behave like a sea pen, Penatulaceae. When taken out of water, it will revert back to its original state. The items were discovered after a report of living pens. Date of recovery, August 23rd, 2015. Location of recovery, a small tank inside Redacted, San Diego. Current status: placed in an aquarium at Dr. Redacted's room. Item description: a commercial electrician's 22-piece tool set manufactured and sold by Redacted. Any attempt to take any of the tools in this set without looking directly at it will cause the tool to instantaneously transport a few meters away to a random location. After 5 attempts to retrieve a tool, all tools in this set will transport to a location suitable for them to arrange themselves in an order resembling the winky face emoticon. Date of recovery, April 18th, 2013. Location of recovery, construction site for containment area Redacted. Current status: Site 45's low priority containment wing. Item description: a writing pad with the words "Do not swear" written on every page. Whenever the object is written about, any expletives in the text will automatically be replaced with similar words. Date of recovery, September 8th, 2015. Location of recovery: a classroom in the Redacted School in Redacted, Australia. Current status: kept on a paper tray in researcher Redacted's room. Item description: a pair of black men's gloves made of an unknown material. The items are worn while punching a living thing or inanimate object. Large words fitting the sound made will appear for 1.7 seconds within 1 meter of the wearer. Date of recovery, September 8th, 2015. Location of recovery: a prop house in Walla Walla, Washington, United States. Current status: in Dr. Redacted's office display case. Item description: a pencil sharpener that adds back layers of wood to any pencil inserted until it is indiscernible from its original unsharpened form. Date of recovery, 11th of Redacted, 2015. Location of recovery: a classroom in Redacted, Africa. Current status: formerly in a staff supply closet for reusing pencils, currently in a locked container in Dr. Redacted's office. Item description: a 1-gallon tub of Redacted vanilla ice cream. The ice cream itself is continuously kept at 12 degrees Celsius, despite temperature surrounding it. Consumption of the ice cream will cause the taste to change to to a random flavor of existing ice cream flavors. However, consumption will automatically trigger an ice cream headache. The ice cream does not regenerate after consumption. Date of recovery, March 14th, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted freezing goods. Current status, formerly Area 23 frozen storage, currently consumed. Item description, a human skull that, when held, will cause the holder to walk around the room with the skull, acting out a play Hamlet by William Shakespeare. After finishing, the holder will place the skull to its original position and return to normal. When questioned, subjects usually respond with lines from the play. Date of recovery, September 14th, 2002. Location of recovery, a drama hall in London, England. Current status, a locked display case in Dr. Moreau's office. Item description, a male blue shark, Priones glauca, that swims through the air like it would through water. Date of recovery, November 16th, 2013. Location of recovery, Miami, Florida. Current status, on-site terrarium at site B14. Notes, will eat anything a normal shark would, but seems to prefer dog food. Dr. Ullman. Item description, a stovepipe-style hat that, when worn by a human and viewed by one or more penguins, will exert a force on the wearer, accelerating them upward at a rate of 1 meter per second squared per observer. Under normal circumstances, 10 or more observers are required to overcome the forces of gravity. Date of recovery, redacted, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, zoo, redacted. Current status, Site 37 storage wing. Item description, a double 6 domino that cannot be knocked over. When pushed with a great amount of force, it knocks down the object that pushed it with a similar amount of force. Should a human push it, it bends the fingers that push the domino downward. Date of recovery, March 28, 1996. Location of recovery, Boston, Massachusetts. Current status, formerly placed against the wall in Site 4's storage compartment, currently shot by Agent Redacted in an attempt to knock it down, and thus it was broken into multiple pieces. Pieces displayed no anomalies even after being superglued together. Item description, one cassette tape entitled The Best of Queen. When left unobserved in close proximity to other cassette tapes, item will transmogrify the tapes into exact copies of itself. Date of recovery, September 20th, 1982. Location of recovery, the floorboard of Agent Redacted's car. Current status, Site 88's music wing. Item description, a gray analog alarm clock that sounds like the owner's primary maternal figure when reaching its set specific time. Date of recovery, October 28, 2015. Location of recovery, Ithaca, New York. Current status, formerly kept in storage, currently destroyed by Agent Redacted, Agent reprimanded. Item description, a seemingly standard U.S. quarter. When flipped, it has a 33% chance of landing on a third side not normally visible. This third side depicts an engraving similar in appearance and format to the special state quarters. However, it depicts a state that does not exist. The state depicted is called New Called, and according to the coin, was founded in 1919. The engraving depicts a hammer and a nail over a stylized image of a tree. Date of recovery, March 10th, 1989. Location of recovery, Las Vegas, Nevada. Current status, in storage. Testing must be approved by Dr. Cox. Item description, a table with a circular area approximately 20 centimeters in diameter that remains at a constant 37 degrees Celsius no matter the surrounding temperatures. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Current status, in the Site 19 break room for use by staff. Request to move to storage pending. Item description, a relatively small maple tree that shows effects opposite the season currently underway. There are no ill effects on its health in spite of being unable to sufficiently photosynthesize due to the anomaly. Date of recovery, July 21st, 1984. Location of recovery, a park inn redacted. Current status, relocated to an outdoor compartment of site redacted. Object retains anomalous property after relocation. Item description, a complex ritual which, when performed correctly, causes the manifestation of a single pepperoni pizza. The ritual was originally written on a receipt from a local pizzeria for one large pepperoni pizza. Date of recovery, November 16, 1993. Location of recovery, Phoenix, Arizona. Current status. Original receipt is kept in a low-security filing cabinet at Site 17. Notes. Investigation of pizzeria showed no signs of further anomalous activity. Item description. A colony of lesser flamingo Phenicopterus minor, numbering 1,441 in population at time of recovery, whose members were mutually intangible. Breeding attempts resulted in completely intangible offspring. Date of recovery, April 18, 1952. Location of recovery, redacted, Namibia. Current status, all known members are deceased. The remains displayed no anomalous properties and were incinerated. Item description. An animate common iguana made completely of plant matter. Iguana was unable to reproduce as no female version of the creature had been found. Consumed insect matter. Date of recovery, April 12, 1983. Location of recovery, sewers beneath, redacted. Current status, died at average age. Genetic information stored at site, redacted. Item description, a worn-out dartboard that cannot be hit by any player, regardless of skill level. Despite missing, these will believe that they scored a bullseye and boast about their skills for a period of time between 4 and 110 minutes. Date of recovery, September 27, 1963. Location of recovery, a pub in Cork, Ireland. Current status, in storage at Site 77. Item description, a small toy in the shape of a domesticated pig with wings that animates at will. Item behaves in a manner similar to its biological counterpart, with the only exception being that it uses flight as its primary mode of transportation. Date of recovery, May 10, 2001. Location of recovery, Houston, Texas. Current status, contained in storage on Site 18. Item description, a chocolate-dipped granola bar that, when consumed, seems to have been disproportionately grow on one end of the bar. Date of recovery, February 17, 2015. Location of recovery, redacted, Ontario. Current status, in storage at Site Redacted's cafeteria. Flattened, however anomalous effects haven't been nullified. Note, researchers and their brains. Always wanted to know more. Smash my damn chocolate bar in the process. Agent redacted. Item description, a cardboard box. All physical documentation of the item spontaneously translocates to inside the box itself. Date of recovery, January 1st, 2016. Location of recovery, redacted, Georgia, USA. Current status, in storage. Addition, attempts to keep audio-only recordings resulted in recording devices moving to inside the box. Item description, a piece of information that when put through all mediums tested, image, text, MP3, and genome, AIAD, redacted, alters itself to produce the same description/image of a purple flower. Date of recovery, April 2nd, 2016. Location of recovery, redacted's digital camera after being struck by lightning. Current status, contained in anomalous data storage drive 14. Item description, a paper that causes every other word written on it to be turned into an expletive. Date of recovery, January 24th, year 19, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted high school. Current status, inside redacted's storage locker. I fucking don't damn it what the shit is. I'm fucking on shit right ass and shit's fine. Dr. Redacted. Entry portrayal, an antique lexicon which necessitates readers to communicate in unnecessary serpentine synonyms after perusing it. Periodically, synonyms interdict the prepense definition. Occasion of retrieval, February 13th, year 19, redacted AD. Venue of retrieval, redacted Athenaeum, Romania. Contemporary state, in stockpile. Notation, human resources who I toil with are now necessitated to use dictionaries when in a tete-a-tete with me, Dr. M. Redacted. Item description, a VHS player, redacted, when described, changes the letters of random words, redacted. Any description, redacted, it to the Unicode, redacted, known as full block, redacted. While the redacted player itself, redacted, not been observed, redacted, show any anomalous, redacted, aside from this. Redacted of recovery, September 4th, 2015. Location redacted recovery, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Current status contained in Redacted on Redacted 18. Formerly. Item description: a common goldfish, Carassius auratus, genetically within normal parameters for its species. It is in no way anomalous. Currently. Notes: Dr. Syrian is no longer permitted to edit this document without O5 approval. Item description: a common goldfish, Carassius auratus, that sporadically explodes before spontaneously reassembling. The detonations are sufficient to shatter aquarium glass and have so far killed 10. Date of recovery, February 5th, 2016. Location of recovery, House of Dr. Syrian, New York, United States. Current status: kept in blast-proof bowl in the Level 2 testing lab of Site-24, fed twice daily. Item description: a plastic toddler spoon that attempts to gouge out the eyes of anyone who comes within 6 meters of it. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2016. Location of recovery, redacted, Colorado. Current status: in storage. Notes: the spoon is neither sharp enough nor heavy enough to do any real damage, just slightly uncomfortable. Goggles are recommended to anyone working with it. Redacted. Item description: a standard MPK-5 SMG. When fired, it instead emits a high-pitched voice that attempts to mimic the expected sound of the weapon firing. Date of recovery, September 18th, 2012. Location of recovery, Lynchwood, redacted. Current status: in storage pending destruction. Item description: a 2-kilogram block of Gorgonzola cheese, which will continuously emit 1970s disco funk at 65 decibels when within 12 meters of any male with a mustache. Date of recovery, January 1st, 2000. Location of recovery, Altmod Discotheque, Antwerp, Belgium. Current status: in storage at all-female Site-12. Item description: a 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter wooden block that casts a shadow shaped like a common house cat. Date of recovery, February 3rd, 2016. Location of recovery, Lisbon, Portugal. Current status: Dr. Redacted's office. Item description: a redacted spring toy able to turn corners. Date of recovery, January 3rd, 2016. Location of recovery, Toronto, Canada. Current status: undergoing testing in CN Tower stairwell. Notes: also crosses short landings up to 1.4 meters as long as there are more stairs. Item description: a human brain in a mobile vat of nutrients equipped with camera and speech synthesizer. It claims to be Zardox Quaglafan, 23rd century secret agent on a temporal mission to prevent the rise of the insectoid empire in 1976. Date of recovery, September 23rd, 2011. Location of recovery, a crater at Site-136. Current status: head of records, Site-136. Notes: it appears to be delusional, but it's a very good file clerk. Dr. Danger. Item description: a titanium spork. Any food eaten with this utensil will be perceived to be slightly less spicy than the maximum the eater is readily capable of tolerating. No chemical changes to the food or physiological changes to the user are noted. This item only affects perception. Date of recovery, April 16th, 2016. Location of recovery, the Site-88 cafeteria. Current status: in the Site-88 general storage wing, small item storage locker. Notes: correction: it's supposed to be in the storage locker, but keeps ending up back in the cafeteria utensil rack. I better not catch whoever keeps doing this. Dr. Rakistani. Item description: a toilet. Any animal that comes into contact with the toilet will burst into laughter, even if they don't have the vocal cords to do so. Date of recovery, February 12th, 2005. Location of recovery, the Site-66 bathroom. Current status: broken after Dr. Redacted dropped item during transport to Site-66 storage room. Item description: a white sock that, whenever worn, turns out to be inside out, completely independent from how the sock was actually put on. Date of recovery, January 4th, 2002. Location of recovery, originally in possession of Agent Redacted. Current status: in storage. Item description: a brown paper grocery bag. When placed on the head of a human being, the wearer's face cannot be revealed in any way other than removing the bag on their own. Any other attempts will remove the bag only to reveal another bag underneath, still covering the head of the wearer. Removed copies no longer display anomalous effect. Attempts to cut holes in the bag have failed. Deceased subjects do not seem to trigger anomalous effect in the object. Data recovery, April 13th, 2009. Location of recovery, a redacted supermarket location in redacted, in employee break room. Current status, in storage. Item description, a retractable pen with a spring-based clicker. In addition to the two states such a pen would normally have, retracted and extended, there exists a third state where the pen tip appears to retract and extend again. When attempting to write in this third state, the pen will start making a continuous, bass-heavy noise as it makes contact with the writing surface. Disassembly of the pen has revealed no origin as to the source of the sound. The anomalous effect only functions when the pen is completely reassembled. Data recovery, August 16th, 2015. Location of recovery, redacted, high school, redacted, USA. Current status, in storage, Site 23. Item description, a copper fountain in a public space outside, redacted. During the daytime, the fountain does not display any anomalous properties. However, at any point in the night after 22:30, when the fountain is not being observed, all coins at the bottom of the fountain will inexplicably disappear. Inexplicably, this will only occur if there are at least 1,945 cubic centimeters of water in the fountain. Data recovery, February 16th, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, Czech Republic. Current status, disassembled in a Foundation-owned warehouse. Notes: the groundskeeper at the location of recovery was aware of the fountain's anomalous property, but didn't report it because it made his job easier. I sympathize, but still, with the length of time he's been exposed to the anomaly, I'd recommend a Class E amnestic for him. Agent redacted. I'll look into clearing it with the Ethics Committee, and as for people telling me this should receive full SCP status, it's a fountain that eats your coins, nothing more. Dr. Riken. Item description, a silver wristwatch which, when laid on any surface, will soft boil an egg placed on it. No other anomalous properties recorded. Date of recovery, May 3rd, year 20, redacted. Location of recovery, redacted, New Mexico. Current status, in the possession of Dr. Michael, redacted, for personal use. Notes: this is absolutely useless, however it does make preparing lunch at work easier, as I don't have to wait to use the stove in the kitchen. No, you can't have it, it's mine. Dr. Michael, redacted. Item description, an open case of 20 tubes of hair gel. Application of the hair gel to the scalp of any primate will cause hair to grow, recede, or change length until the primate's hair resembles a 1980s style mullet. Date of recovery, August 12, 2016. Location of recovery, basement of redacted barbershop, Waxahachie, Texas. Current status, in Site 17 storage. Notes: product appears to be mislabeled. All packaging indicates the product will give the user a 1950s pompadour. Item description, a large conch seashell 30 centimeters in length. When the opening is held to a human ear, a dial tone is produced from within the shell. No method of dialing the item, if such is possible, has yet been determined. Date of recovery, April 5th, 2012. Location of recovery, obtained from the seashore of Mindle Beach, Australia. Current status, functioning as an aquarium decoration in Site 82. Item description, a wireless black PlayStation 4 controller that will connect to Nintendo 64 entertainment consoles and nothing else. Tests have shown that all internals of the controller are unmodified and correctly programmed, yet there is still no understanding of how N64s receive the signal broadcasted by the controller. Date of recovery, January 24th, 2016. Location of recovery, obtained from a house in redacted, California. Current status, in storage. Request for transfer to Area 43 break room pending. Item description, a mundane hockey puck slides across all surfaces and is placed on with no observable friction. Date of recovery, March 4th, 2016. Location of recovery, surrendered by the Ice Hockey Club of Darwin, Australia. Current status, in storage. Item description, a coverless book with 50 pages, When opened, it will display pages from different parts of different novels and books. There are no set patterns to what pages that appear in it. The pages will randomize again if the book is closed and reopened. Date of recovery, redacted, year 1988. Location of recovery, on a bookshelf in a public library located in redacted Hong Kong. Current status, in storage. Item description, a small white dresser. Upper drawer contains different assortments of items each time it is opened, usually consistent with mundane drawer clutter. Any items placed inside are no longer present when the drawer is closed and reopened. The lower drawer similarly shifts contents, but instead is always uniformly filled with a single substance or collection of identical objects. Previously observed examples include shale gravel, pine pitch, unmarked gold ingots, 1985 US pennies with identical scratches and surface features, 150 chrome steel objects of uncertain function, Bing cherries, and crushed woodland reeds. Date of recovery, October 14, 2003. Location of recovery, redacted, during a raid on a known Marshall Carter and Dark warehouse. Current status, low risk anomalous item storage. Notes, after brief testing, item was determined to be non-hazardous. Request for further testing as a possible disposal for hazardous items is pending. Item description, a minor info hazard. Anything describing its physical appearance will automatically be redacted. Date of recovery, April 16, 2016. Location of recovery, Reykjavik, Iceland. Current status, placed within storage. Item description, a karaoke machine. Anyone who talks in the microphone will have their voice changed to that of a Japanese teenage girl, with anything spoken or sung being automatically translated as well. The voice itself varies slightly from person to person. Date of recovery, redacted, year 2002. Location of recovery, a nightclub in redacted prefecture. Current status, stationed at Site 32's break room for recreation. Item description, a self-reviewing notebook. A short piece of criticism will be written after any text written in the book. As well as reviewing fiction for its value as a novel, it appears to be able to fact-check both fiction and non-fiction and will suggest potential improvements. Date of recovery, redacted. Location of recovery, a Book of the Week club in redacted Spain. Current status, in storage at Site 14. Suggestion for use as an aid to research in anomalous and mainstream studies, pending approval. Item description, a single feather that appears to be constantly changing in color. The feather's color seems to change approximately every 2 seconds. When music is played within a 12-meter radius, the feather reacts to the stimuli by changing colors much quicker than normal, much like a strobe light. The speed of which changes seems to vary depending on the speed, beat, tone, and tempo of the song/music being played. Date of recovery, July 2 redacted, year 20 redacted. Location of recovery, found in what appears to be an old and abandoned club in redacted Philippines. Current status, kept in storage and used during Christmas parties. Item description, a maths textbook whose contents can only be remembered by smoking the pages. Pages regenerate after 30 minutes. Date of recovery, July 16, 2010. Location of recovery, redacted, Australia. Current status, in storage. Item description, a man in his mid-30s capable of twirling any object on his index finger at extreme speeds, regardless of size, mass, chemical composition, or shape of said object in relation to his own body. Date of recovery, March 6, 2012. Location of recovery, Sunderland, Massachusetts. Current status, in low-threat humanoid containment, Site 12. Item description, a 4-ounce cup of redacted brand applesauce, contents non-perishable. Expiration date always matches current date. Date of recovery, June 18, 2016. Location of recovery, Gold Hill, Oregon. Current status, inadvertently consumed by junior researcher redacted. Redacted, suffered mild indigestion but recovered within 12 hours. Item description, a goldfish which produces a constant stream of fresh water from its mouth at the rate of 10.9 liters per second. Date of recovery, December 10, 2016. Location of recovery, Roehampton, New South Wales. Current status, forcibly imploded following a blockage in the drainage system for its tank. Item description, a 3D jigsaw sphere whose pieces, when disassembled, form two identical copies of the same sphere. Lost pieces of an individual sphere will occasionally be found inside another sphere when disassembling it. Date of recovery, July 3rd, 2016. Location of recovery, Bowral, New South Wales. Current status, initially 3 completed puzzles were recovered. The pieces for 15 more were found inside those spheres. Further testing has resulted in the construction of 4 additional whole spheres. Item description: a cube constructed of concrete which will produce a sap from the redacted tree every 2 to 4 hours. Sap has been tested but has proven to have no anomalous properties. Date of recovery, 20th of redacted year 1998. Location of recovery, redacted, Switzerland. Current status, in the storage of formerly Area 1, currently Site 17, with weekly cleaning from janitorial crews. Personnel under the security level of 2 should not be permitted near the object following the near destruction of the object by Dr. James Wright. Note: I'm surprised that the sap has no anomalous properties. I mean, where does it come from? How is the sap made? Maybe it's a hidden form of teleportation. Dr. Houston. Item description: a northern mockingbird, Mimes polyglottis, that can imitate any human phrase spoken to it. However, it always repeats these phrases in German, regardless of what language they were initially spoken in. Date of recovery, November 14th, 2016. Location of recovery, Sunset Beach, North Carolina. Current status, in a low-security animal containment unit at Site 65. Item description: a combat knife with a serrated blade and a wooden handle. Whenever the object is used with intent to harm, the blade will instantaneously disappear. Any persons stabbed with the bladeless knife are compelled to declare, quote, "I go the way of every man, my last light snuffed out," unquote, and enter a death-like trance. After roughly 4 minutes, the victim will rise with no recollection of the event. Date of recovery, May 9th, 2016. Location of recovery, Cambridge, England. Current status, secured in Site 78's non-sentient storage wing. Note: when we found this, Carter wouldn't stop stabbing me with it. Couldn't stop the bastard either. Agent Iglesias from the recovery team, Psi 13. Item description: a volcano-shaped cake that erupts every 30 days, expelling either luminescent red icing or 1,500 degrees Celsius lava. The cake has neither been damaged by the lava nor undergone expected staling or aging. The location of the liquids prior to eruption has not been accounted for. Date of recovery, April 13th, 2007. Location of recovery, a Pompeian bakery. Current status, formerly held in Site 17 cafeteria cold storage, currently went into dormancy after being exposed to continual cold storage temperatures. Currently stored in a heating room in an attempt to revive the item. Item description: a name tag with Steve written on the front. Upon placing the name tag on a person's chest, they will claim that their name has always been Steve. Date of recovery, August 16th, 2016. Location of recovery, Aspen, Colorado, United States. Current status, in storage at Site 17. Item description: a chess set made from English oak. When the pieces are moved on the board, they generate specific sounds audible only to the players. Moving a piece creates sounds similar to clanging metal or galloping horses, while removing a piece from play generates sounds of punching or clashing metal. At the end of the game, a trumpet fanfare will play for 3 seconds. Date of recovery, February 13th, 1992. Location of recovery, King Alexander I Primary School, Serbia. Current status, the Area 53 break room. Item description: an apple tree whose fruit has been described as abnormally delicious. Any human who consumes the fruit from the tree will be propelled formerly south by southeast, currently away from redacted north, redacted east at 87 kilometers per hour. Date of recovery, May 8th, 2012. Location of recovery, Mount Ararat, Turkey. Current status, relocated to Site 27's Arboretum. Item description: a wooden door painted white. At exactly 11:30 p.m. local time, a knock is heard from whichever side is not being observed. If both sides are being observed, knocks will emanate from both sides simultaneously. Date of recovery, November 13th, 2015. Location of recovery, London, Britain. Current status, in storage at Site-32. Item description: a standard kitchen sink. Humans over the age of 21, with at least one child under the age of 16, consistently perceive it as full of dirty dishes, regardless of its contents. Humans under the age of 18 see it as completely empty. Data recovery, June 14th, 2015. Location of recovery, London, Britain. Current status, in storage at Site-13. Item description: a photograph of a redacted. Despite there being no evidence of its existence, it will cause those who talk about it to insist upon its existence. The contents of the photograph are debated. Date of recovery, unknown. Location of recovery, unknown. Current status, unknown. Existence of object, debated. Staff frequently report that the photo is hung in researcher Adamo Small's office. Item description: a set of candy canes which cause any child who consumes one to be exceptionally nice for 30 days. Subsequent consumptions renew this period of niceness. Date of recovery, December 1st, 2003. Location of recovery, a candy store in Santa Clara, California. Current status, in Site-19's cafeteria for snacks. I hope nobody minds, but I've been taking these home to my kids after work. They love them. Agent Miller. Item description: a steam iron. When used, clothing being ironed will emit a loud scream as long as direct contact with the iron is maintained. Date of recovery, January 3rd, 2017. Location of recovery, Washington, England. Current status, in storage at Site-17. Item description: a picture of a dog. When directly described in any digital text format, the description will immediately be replaced with a JPEG image of a picture of a dog, varying in appearance and quality. Date of recovery, January 19th, 2017. Location of recovery, the house of the Morris family, Sunderland, England. Current status, low security animal containment unit at Site-17. Note: her name is Elsie. Dr. Wepler. Item description: a fluorescent orange plastic uvuzela that, when played, renders the user invisible to the naked eye and cameras. Date of recovery, May 6th, 2010. Location of recovery, Johannesburg, South Africa. Current status, formerly in safe level storage, then missing, currently in storage. Notes: don't be stupid. We might not see you, but we sure can hear you. Site-17 security. Item description: the corpse of James R. Seavey, a former filing assistant for the Foundation, who was KIB on June 7th, 2017. Any text about the corpse will be altered immediately after writing to be more organized, often to an inflated or unnecessary degree. Date of recovery, month 6, notes June, day 7, notes Wednesday, year 2017, notes not available. Location of recovery, facility, Site-77, Department, Records and Informational Security Administration, RACA, Wing, Tabulation and Documentation, Room Number 101. Current status, 1. Object artificially preserved and kept in a standard KIB memorial at Site-2. 2. Copies of documentation preserved in Type C typographic storage. 3. Amnestics, Class A variety, administered to Seavey's living family and friends. Item description: a singular western honeybee, Apis mellifera, that can remove the color from any substance or material through a process not dissimilar to nectar collection. Date of recovery, January 13th, 2017. Location of recovery, Knoxville, Tennessee. Current status, formerly kept at a low-security APN containment site, currently body incinerated after death. Item description: a small wooden birdhouse currently inhabited by 3 American robin chicks, Turdus migratorius. Any non-avian animal coming into contact with it is violently propelled into the stratosphere at a velocity of 3 kilometers per second. Date of recovery, January 23rd, 2017. Location of recovery, Toronto, Canada. Current status, in storage. Item description: a patch of skin formerly present on the left calf of an adult Caucasian male. A tattoo is present on the object that reads, quote, Mr. Just has a tattoo by Gamers Against Weed, unquote. This tattoo has resisted all attempts at removal. The skin was removed during a grafting procedure. The previous owner has assumed a completely new identity since the procedure and claims to have no memory of his time with the tattoo. Date of recovery, May 2nd, 2016. Location of recovery, Richmond, Virginia. Current status, in cryogenic storage. Note: the tattoo's previous owner possessed a list similar to other Misters Against Weed. The document is included below. Additionally, while the tattoo was still present on its owner, the subject claimed to have no memory of receiving the tattoo and that it had been present since birth. Item description: a low-level mimetic hazard which causes infected subjects to believe they possess level 6 clearance and are capable of accessing every file in the Foundation database. The meme propagates via specific software malfunctions that can occur when querying a clearance ticket. Date of recovery, January 27, 2010. Location of recovery, Site 551. Current status, malfunctions that are capable of spreading the meme have been fixed. A single terminal that still carries malfunctions is kept at Site 49 for study. Technical researcher David Rosen. Item description: a sheet of white paper with the word "bi-monthly" written on it in black marker. When viewed by 2 or more people, an argument will begin between the viewers as to whether the word means twice a month or once every 2 months. This argument may escalate into violence without intervention. This effect persists even when subjects are told not to argue over the definition of the word. Date of recovery, February 11, 1994. Location of recovery, Wicklow, Ireland. Current status, destroyed in a particularly heated debate between 2 senior researchers. Both have been reprimanded. Descriptive: penny-sized, green, circular. Anomalously causes immediate dying if non-descriptives or non-actives are used in describing. Recovered, redacted, year 20, redacted. Currently, held securely, termination requested. Item description: the skeleton of an unknown species of the clade Dinosauria that dates back 160 million years. The specimen appears to be bipedal, with 2 large 3-meter feet on the end of 27-centimeter legs, and a seemingly randomly curved spine. The subject's front limbs have been replaced with apparatuses that function similarly to M1911 handguns, entirely constructed from bone. The limbs only shoot shards of bone in the shape of 9mm handgun bullets, and will not shoot if supplied with any other type of bullet. Date of recovery, September 5th, 2008. Location of recovery, Kansas, USA. Current status, in storage at Site 551's Archaeological Wing. Item description: a chemical toilet colloquially known as a porta-potty of unknown brand and origin. Carbon dating analysis of the materials used to construct the item reveals that the structure is approximately 165 million years old. Multiple instances of petrified feces belonging to unknown species of the clade Dinosauria are found within the item's holding tank. Date of recovery, March 28, 2017. Location of recovery, Montana, USA. Current status, in storage. Item description: a standard-sized, redacted brand chocolate powder container. Interior dimensions do not correspond to exterior dimensions, extending 1 meter past top. Date of recovery, February 15, 2017. The location of recovery, Wilmington, Delaware, United States. Current status, in storage. Notes: on recovery, object contained the amount of powder found in non-anomalous containers, 27 American cents, 3 euros, and a human thumb. Item description: a wooden nutcracker in the shape of Joseph Stalin. It will only break nuts if someone who lived in former East Germany uses it. Date of recovery, November 9, 1989. Location of recovery, Berlin, Germany. Current status, in storage at Site 45. Item description: a standard-sized 92 by 57 by 203 millimeter brick. One side of item, arbitrarily designated the top, constantly displays the 1951 British-American film The African Queen in its entirety and on endless loop. Date of recovery, April 27, 2004. Location of recovery, Cape Town, South Africa. Current status: in storage. Item description: a strain of H3N2 influenza that causes dreams of stringed instruments in infected subjects. Dreams typically relate to the presence of microscopic instruments in the blood and lungs. Date of recovery: November 3rd, 1975. Location of recovery: redacted. Current status: endemic to the redacted region. Containment efforts are ongoing. Item description: a standard asthma inhaler containing a redacted brand aluminum container. Upon inhaling the contents of the inhaler, the user's bronchioles seize up in a manner analogous to an asthma attack. These symptoms cease after approximately 5 minutes. Date of recovery: June 13, 2009. Location of recovery: St. Josemaria Hospital, Sydney. Current status: in storage. Item description: a VHS tape labeled Jack Nicholson wearing less than one shirt. Subjects who view the contents of the tape become unable to perceive more than 50% of any object at a time unless applied amnestic treatment. Date of recovery: May 2nd, 2017. Location of recovery: Cedar Springs, Colorado. Current status: in a storage locker in Site 27. Item description: a fully functioning 1:100 scale replica of a Colnago arabesque bicycle. Despite the object's size, it possesses the same velocity and acceleration capabilities as a regular arabesque. Date of recovery: February 28, 2016. Location of recovery: Nagano, Japan. Current status: in storage. Item description: a standard Nerf dart gun with laser sight attachment that, when fired, acts as a regular 9mm handgun. Fires Nerf darts at the same velocity as a regular 9mm round and the same force and lethality as expected from a projectile of this speed. Date of recovery: March 4th, 2010. Location of recovery: evidence locker in Sydney, Australia. Current status: in Dr. Rhodes' office in case of emergency. Note: funniest death ever. Dr. Rhodes in response to Incident 1456-A. Item description: a bus stand that causes all buses with the stand at their designation to arrive 10 minutes later than scheduled by causing a series of ostensibly unrelated accidents to delay the bus's arrival. Date of recovery: May 9th, 2016. Location of recovery: Mascot, Sydney, Australia. Current status: transport to Site 19 delayed significantly, contained by ensuring all buses that use the stand arrive at 10-minute intervals. Item description: an olive green metal cube that will turn into thermosetting plastic and melt unless referred to as Olivia. If referred to as Olivia, it will revert into a metal cube. Date of recovery: June 1st, 1993. Location of recovery: Alhambra, California, USA. Current status: in storage. Item description: a standard non-anomalous white deck chair. It is devoid of any anomalous properties other than its location of recovery. Date of recovery: not available. Location of recovery: the surface of Europa, the moon of Jupiter. Current status: remains on the surface of Europa due to cost of extraction. Item description: a bottle that, no matter the contents, will always land on its head when flipped. Date of recovery: September 12, 2016. Location of recovery: Westbrook High School vending machine. Current status: used as a gimmick to impress new agents accepted into the Foundation. Notes: could Dr. Balkowski please return the item to the front desk of Site 46? Professor Yang would like his turn now. Item description: a severed human hand that provides good luck and fortune to anyone who possesses it. Date of recovery: May 31st, 2017. Location of recovery: SCP redacted chamber after D-Class failed to properly follow containment procedures. Current status: in an airtight glass container in break room of Site 27 to remind personnel that containment procedures must be followed. Also believed to provide some sort of morale boost to anyone in the presence of the item. Item description: an otherwise unremarkable Bayliner Sierra boat that attracts blood towards itself. Date of recovery: February 24th, 2019. Location of recovery: Guangxi, China. Current status: in storage. Item description: a pair of macro-quantum entangled Jenga sets. Date of recovery: March 15th, 2003. Location of recovery: Newport, Wales. Current status: in storage. Site 15 break room. Site 17 break room. Item description: a copy of Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, painted by an unknown artist. When looked at, the eyes of the woman in the painting appear to stare at whoever is looking at it. Multiple people in the room report that each person appears to be stared at simultaneously. Date of recovery: July 12, 2017. Location of recovery: a yard sale in Edison, New Jersey. Current status: hanging on the wall in a hallway at Site 19 for aesthetic purposes. Item description: an indestructible, redacted brand camera tripod. Human beings approaching this object develop an urge to physically assault the item until they are exhausted. Additionally, any electronic devices possessing speakers brought within 5 meters of the object will spontaneously begin to play Megadeth's Tornado of Souls, regardless of whether or not the device is charged. Date of recovery: 5th of May, 2017. Location of recovery: Ronnie's Camera Shop, Flagstaff, Arizona. Current status: kept for recreational purposes in Site 45. Item description: formerly a really cool rock. I mean, this is one of the most awesome rocks I have ever seen. In fact, it is the coolest thing I have ever seen. Currently, item is a small rock that, when someone touches or picks it up, causes them to believe the rock to be the, quote, coolest, unquote, thing ever. This effect persists after the person stops touching it. Other than this, it seems to be a normal rock. Date of recovery: May 9th, 2018. Location of recovery was found by Dr. Anderson outside Site 24. Current status: on the raddest desk of the amazing Dr. Anderson, because he found it and therefore is the coolest person. Item description: an average USB flash drive that, when attempts are made to insert it into a computer, will always be inverted as to prevent itself from being plugged in. Date of recovery: December 9th, 2016. Location of recovery: Hillsborough County Library, Florida. Current status: in storage. Item description: the website What Would Happen If I Was Shot. Redacted. When accessed, it generates an accurate 3D model of the user, which can then be shot by clicking on any part of the body. Date of recovery: July 1st, 2017. Location of recovery: not available. Discovered following a Reddit post on the Today I Learned subforum. Current status: domain blocked from all major internet service providers. Item description: a rubber ball, 5 centimeters in diameter, that slowly rolls toward the closest living human. Running through a metal detector showed no signs of electronic parts. Date of recovery: July 2nd, 2017. Location of recovery: the break room, rolling around the feet of annoyed personnel. Current status: in a small glass container duct taped to Dr. Rob's desk. Item description: a nuclear warhead that constantly plays dubstep. The songs are original to the warhead and played at 95 decibels. Date of recovery: May 24th, 2011. Location of recovery: classified in conjunction with United Kingdom authorities. Current status: installed as Site 25 on-site nuclear safeguard. Note: before containment, a number of songs produced were released online, crediting DJ Dirty Nuke as their creator. We would like to speak with whoever is responsible for their release, but the songs themselves need no containment. Dr. Wall. Item description: a standard dinner fork that, when used, will cause whatever it has been stabbed into to transform into medium rare cooked steak. Date of recovery: July 26, 2017. Location of recovery: Tampa, Florida. Current status: in a standard storage locker at Area 108. Notes: during a low-level containment breach, item was taken out of containment by an escaped Class D and used on several agents. Class D was terminated and item returned to storage. Item description: pots of paint, the pigment of which only visually stimulates the cone cells in the eye. The effect causes it to appear constantly dimly lit, and to become gray when viewed from any direction other than head-on. Further effects include headaches and eye ache after prolonged exposure. Date of recovery: March 29th, 2017. Location of recovery: Newcastle, England. Current status: research is underway on utilizing this item as camouflage and on synthesizing larger amounts of the pigment. SCP-294 to be used for this purpose when free. Notes: interesting, this one. Somehow, the effect also works when the pigment is viewed through a photo. I have no idea how. Dr. Hagemeister. Item description: a CD with the song Up in the Sky by English rock band Oasis. When the line "Before You Start Falling" plays, any objects not touching the ground in a 6-meter circle around the source of the music will immediately fall to the ground at a speed of 5.4 meters per second. This effect extends to the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Date of recovery, July 6, 2017. Location of recovery, Creation Records Warehouse, London, UK. Current status, in storage, accessible if needed to recontain flying anomalies. Item description: an otherwise unknown subspecies of Pinus pumila, Siberian dwarf pine. The wood of this species functions as a superconductor with a resistance of practically zero. Date of recovery, September 13, 1992. Location of recovery, redacted, Siberia. Current status: due to the species' isolated location and low population, only minimal containment is necessary. Currently, Outpost 18 of Site 72 has been set up to monitor the only known population. Item description: an ornate vase which, when observed, slightly corrupts any medium containing information about it. This extends to memory. Scale of corruption is proportional with duration of viewing. Date of recovery, November 15, 2000. Location of recovery, presently unidentified. Current status: currently in storage, in an opaque box. Notes: at least 20 copies of this text are to be kept at all times. On the off chance that the vase is viewed, we can piece together the entry from the fragments of each copy. Dr. Hagemeister. Item description: a small wooden cup that fills with sulfuric acid. If anyone within a 2-meter radius states, "Philip is coming over from Spain." The cup is not damaged by the substance. Date of recovery, February 7, 1982. Location of recovery, Lisbon, Portugal. Current status: in storage within Site 49. Notes: following a series of incidents regarding her colleague Philip's transfer from Spanish Site 47 and a significant amount of acid burns, of no one is to be allowed access to the wooden cup without explicit clearance from myself. Dr. Eco. Item description: humanoid femur bone that renders all descriptions of it upside down. Effect extends to human speech. Date of recovery, undetermined. Assumed grandfathered in from predecessor organization. Location of recovery, undetermined. Current status, in storage. Electronic documentation is accompanied by an AIC unit which will restate affected descriptions and thereby reverse the item's effect. Notes: efforts to identify how or why the item arrived in Foundation containment have been hindered by a lack of substantial documentation, most likely due to the absence of artificial general intelligence technology in Foundation predecessors. Current hypothesis is that the object predates human record keeping. Item description: a slab of concrete engraved with the words, "Please step here on redacted to prevent the apocalypse." The item itself currently possesses higher than average human reading, but has no apparent effects on reality. Date of recovery, March 5, 2005. Location of recovery, taken from a sidewalk in Lubbock, Texas. Current status, in storage. Plans for testing of the item on redacted have been approved. Item description: a Carl Thompson rainbow bass. When any song of the band Primus is played, a voice is heard saying, "Primus sucks." This effect is present regardless of whether the song is played perfectly or incomplete. Date of recovery, May 2nd, 2006. Location of recovery, a music store in Washington, D.C. Current status, in storage. Item description: a large bathroom mirror. Anyone who looks into the mirror has a strong urge to have a staring contest with their reflection. This urge subsides once the individual blinks. Date of recovery, September 9th, 2017. Location of recovery, a pawn shop in Dallas, Texas. Current status, in storage. Notes: a cloth should be kept over the mirror to prevent the anomalous property. Informazioni sull'oggetto. Una ciotola di spaghetti che quando hanno visto l'affiche tutte le informazioni recitate o scritto su di esso in italiano mal formulata. Giorno di ottenere tale oggetto, March 1st, 2017. Piazza di Recupero, Guam, Americana Unity Territory. Corrente mangiato. Item description: 13 Russian Matryoshka dolls that all mutually fit inside of each other. Date of recovery, February 10th, 1923. Location of recovery, 13 kilometers northeast of Moscow, Russia. Current status: 2 were shattered by a reckless researcher, reprimanded. Remains show no anomalous properties. 11 on display in Site 13's anomalous items wing. Item description: a blue backpack. When this backpack comes into contact with a human, its weight increases by approximately 379.5 kilograms. The backpack is currently 6,002.18 kilograms. Date of recovery, June 18th, 2017. Location of recovery, Community Elementary School in Gale, Ohio. Current status: in process of being transported to Site 325. Notes: by God, the recovery team still hasn't gotten it to the site. They've been hauling the thing from Gale to here for the past year now. Turns out automated contact still counts. Junior researcher days. Item description: an audio file named bells.mp3. It plays a random song on bells each time it is opened. Upon listening to the audio clip in its entirety, the viewer will hear that exact song heard in the clip every time a bell rings within the area it is audible to the subject. This only affects the viewer and lasts for an indefinite amount of time unless an amnesiac is delivered or the subject is rendered deaf. Date of recovery, April 3rd, 2016. Location of recovery, recovered from a laptop in London, England. Current status: stored on a computer at Site 7. Item description: a soda can. Analysis indicates that the ratio of the circumference of its bases to the diameter of its bases, otherwise known as the value of pi, is roughly equal to 4.282983. Date of recovery, September 19th, 2017. Location of recovery, Nishinomiya, Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. Current status: in storage. Item description: a VHS tape with a recording of the music video for Once in a Lifetime by the band Talking Heads. A segment with a repeated line, same as it ever was, continues from timecode 157 for 2 hours of non-repeating footage, with David Byrne repeating the line and looking increasingly distraught as hands grip his head. Date of recovery, March 17th, 1980. Location of recovery, Chicago, Illinois. Current status: general media storage. Notes: crew who worked on the original filming were interviewed. They all agree that no extra footage of the segment was shot.